Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my full day of eating while massing. We are closing in on the start of prep here in the next like 6 to 8-ish weeks. So we are pushing food, and these are my favorite videos to watch. So I wanted to walk you through a training day. It is leg day. So I'm about to make my breakfast and go hit legs. But I showed you guys the progression of my morning with all of my fluids. So I really try and get in a decent bit of water in the mornings. I find that it really does help my digestion as well as like get to my water goal for the day. So I start with my jug and then my big shaker bottle. So before you come for me, I am not an apple cider vinegar girly. I don't think that it like raises your ancestors or anything. My gut is a little bit slow from the food that I'm putting into it right now. So when I start increasing my food and massing, she just like slows down a little bit and needs a little bit of help. So I do a little bit of L-glutamine, which again, I'm not like a TikTok trend girly. I had an IBS flare up this last weekend. So I'm giving my gut lining a little TLC with that, the apple cider vinegar, and then I add in the coffee over cardio powder just to make it not taste gross. And then I usually have 2 cups of decaf coffee with my foamy almond milk. If you guys don't have the Nespresso frother, I swear I look forward to it every single morning. And I put just like a little bit of the liquid stevia in there. The English toffee flavor is phenomenal. And this is what I rotate and sip on for the entirety of the morning. So come down, make my fluids, I meditate for about 10 minutes, and then I'll journal, and then I hop into getting back to messages from my clients for the day. And I do that until it is time for breakfast. So here we are, we're about to make oatmeal. It is my favorite part of the entire day, and I get so many questions on how I make it. So I'm gonna walk you guys through step by step. I'm pretty sure I sound a little sick right now, and the allergies out here are wild. And I don't know who said it was okay to have allergies in the desert. There's literally no plants out here, but I'm not adjusted and I can't really hear out of this ear. So I have some eardrops coming today, and hopefully it's going to take care of that. So my oats are not just oats. We combine oats and cream of rice right now because of the food volume that I need to get in. And I am the kind of person that will eat like 50 to 60 grams of fiber if I'm not careful. So I combine oats and cream of rice to still get my carbs in, but decrease the actual fiber amount. And today we are hitting 2,300 calories, 305 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat, and 150 grams of protein. So right around that 2,300 calorie mark. And at my breakfast, I like to get in close to like 100-ish. I think it's actually closer to like 80 carb, but this is my pre-training meal, and this is what fuels me for that whole training session. So by the time I end up having my sour strips during my workout, it usually ends up being close to like 100 carb. So I'm starting with like 55 to 60 grams of oats, and I do 20 grams of this Pride Foods cream of rice because it is flavored. And I don't know if you guys have ever had the misery of eating just like plain cream of rice, but it is not fun. And this just adds fun back into life. And then cinnamon, per usual. I add a ton of cinnamon because I really, really like it. And then salt. One time I accidentally added pepper to my oats, and it was a sad day. It was not a fun time. And I'm not exact with my water. I just do it until it's covered. No exact measurement. I just throw it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Now, while that is cooking, I put things away, and then I start heating up my frozen berries. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset that I don't have frozen cherries as well. I like to do a berry cherry blend, but we're just doing the berry medley today. And I use 1 full serving. I just heat it up in a mug because it's easier. And you'll see, once they get all heated up at the bottom, there's like this juice, and it makes the oats just so extra. And it's my favorite part of the whole meal. Now I swap my oats for the berries, and I heat this up for 2 minutes. While those are cooking, I add in my vegan protein powder. Key here is vegan protein powder. Whey is just thin and runny and not conducive to the kind of thickness we're trying to achieve in our oats. So I'm using this Planta protein right now in Sprinkle Cupcake, and it has sprinkles in it, and I just really love the flavor. So I use like 30 grams of this. You can see the little sprinkles in there. Now, if you didn't add enough water when you were cooking them, they might be a little dry and you might need to add some water. I like mine to be as thick as humanly possible, as thick as the glutes we are trying to build right now. So that's the texture we're going for. Dummy thick. The berries are done. We're gonna top the oats with nut butter before we pour the berries on, because I don't like to put the nut butter on top of the berry juice. I'm very particular with my oats. So I'm using Love at First Bite, which is an American Dream nut butter, and I have used their nut butters since like 2018, and they just have phenomenal flavors. The macros are great. So for a whole 2 tablespoon serving, it is 150 calories, 11 fat, 7 carb, and 8 protein. So if you haven't tried them, you need to hop on it. Code Caroline says you go out, and I'll put the link in the bio. But I just use like 1 tablespoon. I'm not trying to have a super heavy meal in my stomach, especially before I'm about to train later. Pro tip, measure your nut butter on the scale so that you can lick the spoon. Because if you're putting it on the oats, then you don't get to lick the spoon, and that's a sad day. All right, now, major key. Why we heat up the berries is you can see that berry juice that's happening right now. That makes the oats so decadent. So now, when we pour the berries on the oats, do you see that right now? She is beautiful. Okay, so breakfast is served. I'm going to eat this while I go and learn. I like to learn during breakfast. I'll go through an online course either about learning prep. I'm going through J3 right now so that I can prep clients of my own next year, which I'm super excited about, or I'm going through a content course to continue sharpening my skills. But that's my whole breakfast routine, and I will catch up with you guys later. This isn't quite a meal, but I'm mixing up my pre-workout, and it's something that I'm ingesting, you know? So Christopher's Secret Stuff is my favorite flavor of pre-workout right now. The pump is absolutely phenomenal, especially combined with the raw pump. This has a hefty dose of sodium, so we don't need to add salt into the actual pre-workout. And then I add in my creatine into this, and that is my little concoction. I just do 1 scoop of each. It's leg day, it's really easy to get overstimulated, and leg day pumps, if they're too intense, are not that fun. You can use code Caroline to save on all raw products. Adding ice to your pre-workout makes it taste 3% better. Let's go train. It is also Bean's lunchtime. For Bean, we start the day off with his can, and he eats what he can out of it, and then around lunchtime I have to go in and like scoop out the rest, so we eat lunch together. I just got home from the gym. It is about 12:40 right now. I have my first meeting at 1 p.m., so we have about 20 minutes to eat. I'm going to have rice, lean ground beef, and this farm to table veg mix from Flex Pro. I order things in bulk from Flex Pro because I still do kind of like to cook, so I don't like to have all of my meals made, but I will get like veggies or meat or carbs in bulk. And this one is really awesome because it has 2 kinds of beets, sweet potato, broccoli, fennel, and garlic, so it tastes really great, and we get in a variety of vegetables. And I'm just gonna throw some sugar-free ketchup on it, and then with this I have a bagel. So I try and get in like 100-ish carbs post-workout. I try and stack as much of my nutrition around my workout as possible to fuel both my training as well as my recovery from it. So we gonna have that. I'm probably gonna throw some raspberry jelly on that, and that is my meal too. Bro meals are so good. I didn't have time to eat my bagel before that call. So I had that coffee in between clients that were popping in on office hours, and now I'm getting to have my bagel with raspberry jelly. And raspberry jelly is superior. I used to be a grape jelly girl, but right now I'm on a raspberry kick. We'll see if I ever swing back, but jelly is bae. I swear, I get in these like food fixation phases where I forget that the food exists, and then I rediscover it. and I have like 17,000 of them. And that's what I'm doing with bagels right now. I wasn't craving a bagel for months. And now I don't go a day without one. Got a little bit of a work break, so I wanted to do a little talk on massing. And massing is just a really fancy alpha way of saying that I am bulking. And I am currently bulking leading up to starting prep here in a couple weeks for my first show season ever. I will be competing in bikini and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be doing the summer shredding show in October as my little warm-up show before I head into an NPC season. And let me just tell you, this massing season has been by far the most productive that I have had in my entire fitness journey. I feel like my first really productive growing season was in like 2019, and then I had another really great one in 2020 into 2021 after I went through my whole like gut healing, tapeworm expelling transformation. But I wish that I had learned how to mass and how to grow sooner and the amount of intention that it truly takes, because I would have had a physique that I would have like really, really loved and would have loved to have and thought that I was working towards much sooner. And it is so true when they say you're not just going to accidentally wake up one day and be absolutely jacked. It takes so much intention and time in your training and in pushing food to truly grow and to put on muscle. And I found myself stuck in this cycle of just getting very hyped up for the actual dieting phase when that's not what this is about. You should spend more time at or above maintenance than you ever should in a dieting phase. And I was going through a full dieting phase every single year. And then after, I would be burnt out. So I would kind of reverse up a little bit to like around maintenance. And then I would just intuitively eat and intuitively train. I would still like train, but I wasn't really following a training split and I wasn't intentional with my food. So my progression just never really happened. I didn't grow the amount of tissue that I could have or gotten my calories to a place that was significantly higher than the last time I dieted. And while it did progress over time, there were so many gains left on the table because I wasn't intentional with actually growing. So this is where people get it twisted, is you need that same level of drive and intention during your growing phase that you have in your dieting phase. Because when you do that, you're able to put on that tissue. You're truly able to get your calories up there. And yes, you have more wiggle room in terms of like going out to eat, and it's not as do or die of getting in cardio sessions and things like that. But when you are so focused on dieting, building doesn't happen there. If you're truly trying to change your physique, this is done in your progress season, in your off season, and that's done when you have more food and you are truly pushing yourself in the gym and lifting hard and lifting heavy. Your change won't happen in a dieting phase. You just end up being a smaller version of wherever you started. So if you're starting from the same place every single year, that's where the issue is. And I wish I had learned this sooner, because I would be a lot more jacked than I am right now. And my calories would probably be a lot higher than they are right now. But I will say that my maintenance calories are probably about 200-ish higher than when I started. Not even when I started, but probably like 2-ish years ago. So we are definitely making progress, especially for a little 5-foot tall human like me. I'm very proud of that and very happy with that. And I'm very excited to just keep doing that and continue, because growing and dieting, it is truly fun for me. I enjoy all of the phases and the process of building my body, and that's why I love bodybuilding. But even if that's not true for you and you're just trying to build a physique that is eating a decent amount of calories, that looks lean and toned, if you just pay your dues for 1 to 2 years, take that time to grow. Because you can keep kicking the can down the road and there will always be something to get leaner for. You can always decide that you just want to trim up, that you just want to lose a couple pounds. And you have to remember that that is taking like 12-ish weeks out of a growing phase. And so much progress could have been made then if you would have just stayed at a higher caloric intake and kept training. Because there can be really positive body composition changes when your intake is higher and you don't consistently need to be growing and dieting and growing and dieting. If you want to have a lean and toned physique that you can maintain and you don't want to have to do that for your whole life, just pay your dues now. Take the 1 to 2 years, grow, train, and I promise you, your body will benefit so greatly from it. Your metabolism will benefit so greatly from it. All of your internal systems and your health, your relationship with food, your relationship with your body, it will all improve. We are just so scared to gain weight or to not be super shredded or to not be lean. And as a woman who was terrified of that growing up, who was made fun of for having larger thighs, from having more muscle, or from just being more of an athletic build when all of my friends were small. Who cares? Who cares as long as you're happy with your body and you are so aligned with your goals and where you want to go in life. I promise you that is so much more worth it than being 2 pounds leaner for like a weekend, or sacrificing your long-term happiness and your long-term progression for like this one event or this one picture that ultimately like won't really matter. You know, so screw the stigma on women growing and get uncomfortable. Like, be that girl that pushes for those goals and gets uncomfortable, because I promise once you do it once, it will never be that hard again, because you will be in that mindset and you have that understanding of what you're getting into. You'll be able to push yourself even harder next time, and it makes the game that much more fun. And when you truly view your fitness journey as a journey and as a lifestyle and something that is very much long-term, it makes life so much more enjoyable and fun. So don't value the shreds so much, and I promise you the bagels are way more fun than having to sacrifice for rice cakes and being hungry. Life is much better when you are not hungry all the time and not food focused, and your body is in a spot where it's fed well, it's training hard, and you just feel good all around because you are making progress every single day. So I will catch you back in like hour and a half-ish for my next meal. Just got back from a little walk, hopped on a quick meeting, and we are having a snack before I hop on a live tonight. We have some Greek yogurt, banana, and pepitas, pumpkin seeds. I really love these seeds. I've been trying to alternate fat sources and just get a variety in. So yesterday I had some shredded coconut. Sometimes I'll do hemp hearts. Just like trying to avoid eating nut butter for every meal, you know? So this is going to be my snack right now, and then I'll come back for snack numero dos. I just wrapped up a live, and that is my last call for the evening. So I'm gonna have this pink grapefruit seltzer water. I have never been a LaCroix girl, a seltzer water girl, until I went to Tulum in January, and this with some lime is absolutely beautiful to have something that's just not water to sip on. So I'm gonna take this with me. I have to go return a hair oil at Ulta because she is just not it. And when I come home, I will probably have another snack. I just got home from Ulta. It is like 6:08 right now, so I am hungry. I'm going to have a snack, but while I'm having my snack, I want to throw some potatoes in the oven for meal prep and then also for dinner. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna show you guys what I got at Ulta because it's fun, and Ulta is one of my favorite places in the world. So we are on the Olaplex game right now, and I used to be an obsessor over Olaplex when I was a blondie. And since being a blondie, I was like white blonde for a really long time, and I'm still dealing with repercussions of just the breakage from the balayage and then all of the bleach. And it is my goal to be able to not have extensions here, I would say in the next like 2 to 3 years. Like realistically, that's how long it takes like hair to really grow and be cute, because this is beautiful and we love her and we appreciate her. And at some point I don't want to always have extensions. We got the number 8 Bond Intense Moisture Mask, which I am going to apply at the ends of my hair to prevent the breakage that's happening from the blonde pieces just breaking off. And then I got the Bonding Oil, which I also will apply to that hair, but you don't want to use oil at the roots when you have extensions because then your weft will slip. So that's mainly going to be for the ends here. And this is also important because this isn't natural hair. It's not connected to your head, so it doesn't get any of the natural oils coming down onto it. So I'm very excited to use both of these. I will keep you guys updated on them and my hair growth journey. So now we are going to make potatoes, and I'm going to show you the device of all devices to prep potatoes because it makes everything so easy and it takes like no time at all. So it is an Amazon find. Here you go. This is the device of all devices. It is a slicer, a dicer, a chopper, whatever you want it to be. And you get to pick your little blade that goes in there. I use the big dicing one. They have a smaller one if you wanted to do like an onion or a tomato or whatever, but it has this little thing. You slide it in and out. So once you dice all of your things, you just pop it out, dump it on the tray, and you keep going. And I will show you guys how easy it is to prep a ton of potatoes all at once. Please always start by washing your produce. Now watch this. Are you kidding me? That's it. It makes life so simple. You just, boop. I love this thing. Like, just ask me what I do for fun. It's this. Two at one time was a whole job. And then when it gets full, you just take it out, throw it on the pan, keep on going. Looking at the timestamp, it literally took me under 2 minutes to do 3 pounds of potatoes. It is worth every penny. I think it's like $20. I will link it in the description. I have just discovered that doing sweet potatoes is definitely more difficult than doing normal potatoes. So if you're gonna be doing sweet potatoes, I recommend chopping them a little bit first. Don't try and do a whole one, so like do your sections. And now I'm going to season them. And the sweet potatoes I'm going to do with this hickory molasses seasoning, and normal potatoes, this buttery steakhouse from Kinder's. And Kinder's has some of the best seasonings in my opinion. I love the size of these bottles because Chad and I go through them really quickly. He has this thing where when he seasons things on the grill, he misses 90% of it and just gets it all up in the flames. So we go through them really, really fast, and we like to buy them in bulk. These are all seasoned. We got Japanese sweet potatoes, the white sweet potatoes, and just gold potatoes with the seasonings on them. I'm gonna pop them in at $3.95. Oh, you can't see, kinda. $3.95 for about 45 minutes and have them with my dinner. While that is cooking, my pre-meal snack is going to be clementines. I think I'm gonna have two clementines. I have never been a cuties girl. I've never been one that just snacks on these things. I have recently discovered them in my 24th year of life, and I'm obsessed with them now. So these will go down the hatch until that is ready, and then we will wrap up my last meal with, I don't even know yet, we will see. Officially my last meal of the day, I ended up having another little snackaroo, which was chili and garlic cashews from Trader Joe's because I had an extra couple of grams of fat left after I tracked this last meal, and we are going to have a steak and eggs moment. So we have a little bit of greens at the bottom, potatoes that I just baked on the side, a little filet mignon that Chad grilled before he left, and an egg on top. So that is going to wrap up my full day of eating. We hit 2316 calories, 150 grams of protein, 304 carb, and 54 fat, 33 fiber. So we are well within range for everything today, right on the mark, and the massing will continue tomorrow. So if you enjoyed this, comment, share, like, subscribe, do all of the things, and let me know what you guys want to see next, and I will catch you in the next video.